Unlike newer brand-name drugs that cost as much as 6 figures per dose, vincristine, a low-margin generic drug around since the 1960s, costs about $5 per dose. Months before the shortage, one of the 2 remaining vincristine manufacturers, Teva Pharmaceuticals, announced it would stop making vincristine for U.S. hospitals.
They indicated that it was a business decision. They could make more money on more profitable drugs than vincristine.
Ross Day is a former director of Vizient, the country's largest group purchasing organization, or GPO, a health services company that negotiates contracts between hospitals, drug makers, and medical suppliers.
I don't understand why companies in good conscience can make those kinds of decisions. None of these companies are poor companies. They have the opportunity to not make as much on one drug and still make plenty of margin and profit on other drugs.
Well, those kinds of economic decisions made, not because that person running that business is malicious in their intent, and they are trying to keep that plant operating.
We also met with Bill Simmons, a former high-ranking generic drug executive.
You have to keep in mind that corporations aren't charities.
So how does this work?
The 2 former executives once negotiated drug contracts across the table from one another. They still have disagreements.
You've got the generic drug manufacturers.
We asked them to spell out the economics of generic drug shortages, from the manufacturers on the left here,
Distributor or wholesaler.
to the hospitals and patients on the right.
And then you got the patient over here.
We were hoping a diagram would help.
There's a gatekeeper here. I'm putting GPO in. It's called a group purchasing organization. And that organization negotiates prices for the hospital collectively in an effort to get lower pricing on products.
At least that's the way it's supposed to work.
And you got money going this way, they pay it, and then they sell it to the hospital, and then it comes back this way.
The contract price.
It's concept of fee for service.
A cost minus.
Why is all of that part of the process?
The honest answer to that is this private label fee for service cost minus, these are things to create lack of transparency to pricing.
But this confusion is on purpose?
Yeah, I want to charge different prices and not have clarity around what people are really paying.
So far, this is clear as mud.
But I'm not sure there are more efficient ways to administer this supply chain. At least I've not been presented one.
There's nothing more efficient than this?
But all the arrows and acronyms point to one thing: a broken system, which our investigation found is a root cause of drug shortages.